不好意思，趁着大家在用餐的时候，大家一边用餐一边想问题，我想就把这个时间当成一个比较轻松的。然后现在有一个问题就是要给周老师的，第一个问题说绿色经，对不起，他说绿色经济，您说是教育态度，那是什么？哦，要详加说明。那第二个。那位科技人种田，我逼方的是什么？他希望说他是如何做到的？哦，我想这个人，那有吗？这个是谁问的？可以让我们知道哦，这是后面那个。
谢谢啊，对不起啊，那个我在中央大学教绿色经济学，但是有人说我是红色经济学。哦，所以我觉得我是绿色的外表，红色的内在。那个，所以我想所谓的绿色经济学到目前为止都没有一个大家公认说啊，这个就叫绿色经济学。那所以说我这边讲的教育是什么意思哦？我觉得我比较想从我觉得比较是心理学方面来回馈。哦，那我谈一个东西就是。大家可能有听过一个东西叫做那个华德福，那事实上是他是根据那个大概1900年那个 Rudolf Steiner， 他说他谈的一个东西，你知道吗？就是说我们到这个世界啊，我们在这个世界，那个 Rudolf Steiner 他们的教育理念，他在谈说其实我们人生的意义是什么？我们到这个世界我们要完成什么东西？哦，所以我们跟这个大自然的关系是非常非常重要的。所以以他们的教育理念来讲，是说学校教育，我讲不只是学校教育，包括家庭教育，就是说我们要让人可以完成。好，那所以他们就他在设计上面，他就会他不是强调在智力上面的，所以甚至他们可能是8岁10岁之前不让你识字的。为什么？因为比如说我今天当今天我讲钱，或者我今天讲面包的时候，我们事实上每个人听到的东西，你的印象是都不一样的。那当我们很早就开始这些所谓智力的东西的时候，好，那事实上我们跟这个世界就会脱离掉的。就像说现在很多小孩子就是一直在滑，他可能一出来就滑手机，对不对？好，所以他接触到世界就是这样子的。所以你跟他讲一只猪或者叫一只牛是什么东西的时候，他事实上是他 impression 跟我们成长在大自然成长的是不一样的，所以他跟这个世界必然是疏离，是脱离开来的。那当然这个东西就影响他整个后续的态度啊。所以我一直在讲说经济学，如果说我们要谈永续，我们要谈跟这个世界和平共存、和谐所谓的美好的世界社会好。我要谈的说，我们教育要教导的不是竞争，而是事实上合作，这些东西都是更重要的。好，我想我要强调的是这个哈。可是相对之下，你知道吗？像心理学在跟你讲说，我们要让一个人成长，就像我刚刚讲说，教育最重要是人的本质嘛，对不对？我们每个人都是独特的，所以教育是你要能够去挖掘出每个人独特的东西。可是我们教育是用同样东西，尤其是台湾教育，是一再的灌输你一些，把你绑死掉，把你制约到你完全没有可能性。好，然后更进一步是，我们在强调竞争嘛，竞赛嘛，哈。心理学告诉你说，你要让一个人停止成长，最好的方式是什么？竞赛。因为你竞赛的时候，因为我要存活，我一再的告诉你说，你就是要存活，你就是要存活，你是存活是有问题的。当我一再跟你灌输这个东西的时候，你会发展出所谓的，你会发展的东西不是你的内在的本质，而是个性，外在的个性。哦，那，对啊，我就是说，那绝对是反其道而行的。好，所以我觉得这个东西是最重要的。好，这是第一个问题。对不起，讲得很空泛啊。
那个
第二个问题我记得，第二个问题，这样吗？
没有，我说第二个问题是怎么会让这个提高
我觉得成效我不知道了哈。那但是我在绿色经济学课，我就讲说，因为他是讲说我在网络上看到你刚刚说那个保密方那个嘛，对不对？对啊，就是一个年轻的孩子，我觉得应该不到30几岁，不到30岁吧。 我不知道，我是在网络上看到他这一段影片。好，他跟学校讲说只要你给我1万，就是1万块钱，对不对？哈，那我就会到学校，然后会去跟所有的学生，然后捧地方给所有的学生吃，这样整个学校是不是？但在最重点是他要传达那个理念。好，我觉得现在台湾很多的年轻人，我觉得包括所谓的318的事件，我觉得我们的年轻人是没有问题的。我觉得有问题的是我们这些现在在主导这个世界的人。我觉得有问题的是父母，不是小孩子。好，所以我觉得他就那些理念本来就对的啊。我不知道他为什么会有那样的理念，但是我觉得是非常非常好的。好，这样可以吗？
那你第一个问题是你所要传达的，就是说绿色经济它的那个态度啊、教育，就是说从它的本质跟意义，不是在外在。
对，这本质的意义。我想这是我想讲，所以讲个题外话哈，我上学期的绿色经济学有150个学生，我是要把他们赶出去的。我说你不要来，我绝对不当你。我说我不是在教小学，然后我说我绝对不当你。但是还是很多学生就是说他怕老师会点他。我们的孩子被制约到可能性没有了，他们非常内在充满了恐惧跟威胁，存活的威胁。所以我真的是把他们赶出去。我说你不要来，我绝对不当你。可是还是很多学生就是来，他就摆好位置，就是准备要睡觉，或是要在后面做，或是在后面做他的作业。他对你的东西是不关心的。那你想想看，他对这东西不关心，他对这个世界会关心，对不对？好，所以我觉得还是要从所谓的最内在、最根本的地方。谢谢，这样可以吗？谢谢
周老师。那我想各位朋友今天来是要好好学，就是特别是那个 Klaus， 他也是第一次来台湾，然后他等一下，他行李都拿了，这是他台湾最后一场，其实也没几天，他是第4天了。那等下就要搭飞机了。所以说，大家对今天的3位讲者，那特别是周老师还有阿伟老师呢，其实都很难得。那刚才也有那个张老师要提几个关于那个要问 Klaus 的问题。那他第一个是说那个生态整合的操作型定义，我想这个是非常学术性的。这个 Evolution definition 是什么？然后第二个是说生物多样性公约所承认的一个国家的主权，因为在国家层次处理上，国家层次处理生物性多样性或环境议题是可行的。那问Klaus说，那你的看法要跟老师这是什么？干戈之自我，就是有什么冲突嘛？跟那个全球治理有什么冲突一样，对不对？OK。那第3个问题就是基于 Klaus 对台湾的了解，对台湾在推动全球治理有什么建议？哇，这个是总统级的问题。有一个人问说，请问 Klaus 在以开发和开发中国家政治权力关系如此不平等的情况下，全球治理如何实行？台湾可以怎么做，来使政府在制定法律时将全球治理观念纳入？另外就是还有一个问题，就自给自足的生态社区，可能是往全球自然资源治理的捷径。请谈一谈地方自治充实其自给自足生态，全球人类参与的现况及可能性，成为捷径的可能。我想这个也可以请阿伟稍微谈一下台湾的经验。那阿伟先谈吧，他先谈，我先谈。
Yeah, thank you. I'll try to answer what are 5 questions altogether, and hopefully be fairly brief. And also, only through translation, I understood the questions. I hope I understood the questions correctly. The first is about the definition of ecological integrity being a scientific definition. Say a little bit about this and how it can actually be implemented, as I understand it. Now, we have a law for a long time, since 1974, a treaty between the United States and Canada for the first time defined this concept. If you think of the world's greatest freshwater lake district, the Great Lakes, this was the subject of a treaty between Canada and the United States. And they defined in their wisdom, these were the days of, say, President Carter and so forth, right? Long before we were sort of dominated by corporate power as much as we are now. A very ambitious treaty defining the aim of this treaty to preserve the integrity of the various aspects of water. They have a lot of sophisticated language to determine what makes the integrity of the water system. And scientists have, of course, various ways to use criteria. For the Great Lakes, it was all related to water quality, but not just for the usability for human beings, but for the health of the water system. Very important. It's an ecocentric approach as opposed to an anthropocentric approach. Then in Canada, in other countries, Canada, for example, conservation laws, very specific about defining the various criteria that constitute a healthy ecosystem of integrity. The National Park Act from 2000, for example, there was a board appointed called Ecological Integrity Board, consisting of scientists. They give very precise advice on how to measure the health of the protected area. We're talking about national parks, huge areas. Similar developments in Germany and New Zealand. The problem, as far as law is concerned, those laws were confined to specific conservation areas, right? Protected areas. What we need is simply to broaden it to all our laws. The idea of the integrity of ecological system should be the basis of all laws, not the least, for example, corporate laws, right? It should be impossible for any corporate organization to claim user rights. They just cannot be heard. It's wonderfully, but Dr. Gio, how perverted our system is. It's dictated by property rights, and property rights determine pretty much what we can do. If you happen to have property, like big, powerful corporate organizations, you can destroy the environment because there is no counter mechanism to limit those property rights. And the idea of ecological integrity goes back a long way in science and has been used in peripheral aspects of law. But of course what we need is a fundamental principle defining everything, property, human rights, and so forth. And talk a little bit about the constitution debate in Germany. So the question how to implement it is, to me it's similar. Let's put it this way. Sorry. It took at least 200 years to come to the grips with how fundamentally important human rights are. They're still very badly implemented in most countries, in some countries not at all. But humanity, I like to think, has advanced. In the last 200 years, we have understood that we are all equal. This is, of course, the result of the Enlightenment, which is a revolution in thinking. And today it would be very difficult for any state, any government, to constitute laws that are fundamentally contradicting human rights. They still do it, but it's very hard. In a similar way, I like to think we as human beings, we are incredibly creative and incredibly able of learning. So taking it optimistically, you could envisage a time, perhaps in your lifetime, some of yours, not in mine, where we have a similar fundamental concern that we are part of a planetary system that we must not violate. It's a similar revolution that we have seen unfolding over the last 200 years. Summarize. Maybe we shouldn't leave. Maybe. Is there a need for translation?
Yes. 我把很简单的解释一下，就是刚刚在讲到，就是这个问题是关于生态完整性这个概念。它虽然听起来就是非常的好，但是它到底要怎么样实际上运用？那 Klaus 是说，其实在很多地方已经有实际上的案例，比如说今天我们在这里面讲题没有 cover 到那个 美加之间的那个大水，就是大湖的那个水源计划。那当初那是在1970年代的时候，甚至就是在美国还没有这么的这样被大企业垄断啊，经济体垄断，是卡特总统时代的时候。那时候他们就是有一群科学家也是一样，针对这个大湖的水资源，不只是在人类利用的那个利益之上，而是在整个它的生态体系的完整性之上，研究很多面向，然后从中去导出说他们需要做哪一些的监控跟哪一些的管理，然后达到说这个整个环境可以永续的在这个美加两国之间达成协议的去运作这样。那类似这样子的案例，其实在很多地方都有。那回归到就是，所以如果真的要去执行的时候，其实是可以做到的。比如说，在我们很多的各国，我们在讨论国家公园要怎么保护啦，这些时候，我们都会制定法令。那些法令其实就是为了要在针对这个特定的地区，然后在各个方面，不只是人类利用方面，是在环境的各个面向都能够做到保护。那有一些讨论的比较完整，有些讨论的比较不完整，但都是用相同的精神。那把这样的精神再扩大，因为这些东西讨论的是就是比较个体的，然后比较边缘的。那他想要谈的是核心，那个核心是可以放到就是世界皆准的一个，在讨论所有的议题，尤其是在讨论像资本主义发展的这种东西，更是要把这个东西把生态完整性纳进去。那可以直接被纳进去。当然是还有一段很长路。比如说刚刚讲到说，就是我们在讨论人权，现在世界人权是普遍被接受，但他花了200年。才让我们这些智人知道说这是应该要放进我们的就是这是基本存在权这样。那所以就是也许我们还需要200年，但他相信就是人是可以被挑战，可以被激发的。所以我们希望在我们有生之年就能够看到这样的事情实现。
I think the next questions I can answer more quickly. Right? The next question was about the Convention on Biological Diversity, on the one hand side aiming for a obligation of all states to preserve the biological diversity of the planet, but the way the treaty is being designed, of course, it leaves it to the sovereign state to implement the obligations under the treaty. This treaty, very briefly, is totally flawed. It is dictated by the state sovereignty idea. And it is a prerogative of each signatory state to decide how they discharge of their duty. New Zealand, for example, hasn't done anything. New Zealand simply has said, we have a rich biodiversity, nothing to be done about. Other countries may, that sort of thing. There's a huge lack of implementation, and states do not even feel bad about it, because the treaty says very clearly the way how these duties are being discharged is totally left to sovereignty. It's full of other flaws. It needs to balance economic interests with biodiversity interests. Now, we as the IUCN, belonging to the ethics specialist group that I'm chairing, we have been working with the headquarters, the COP as it's called in Montreal, on how to improve the treaty. And what we're basically saying is that biodiversity is a global commons, and that needs to dictate our thinking. It doesn't belong to states. And if it's a global commons, it takes only an amendment to the treaty or the new charter to start our thinking from there. This would mean that all states have an enforceable obligation to protect biodiversity. Enforceable. The only example where we have this enforceability happens to be the compliance with with whale protection. There are mechanisms where Greenpeace and other groups can actually ensure that our global treaty to protect whales can be enforced. There are some other examples, but this is what we need to be aiming for. The new thinking is, the old thinking is biodiversity is important, but so is the sovereignty of states. It's actually more important. The new thinking is biodiversity is fundamental to anything that states are allowed to think about. And this is not too far-fetched. A number of states are genuinely concerned with these issues. Brings me to the other two questions. The role of Taiwan with respect to global governance, and another related question, the huge gap between rich and poor, and what Taiwan could be doing in this context. Now, a new thinking that sort of applies perhaps with some states. My favorite state happens to be Malta and Costa Rica. Malta is a country very rich in thinking. Catholicism is of course very prominent. Theological philosophy is very advanced. There's still an amazing body of scholarship. It was Malta that invented the idea of the common heritage principle, driving from Christian and also other ideas. The state of Malta proposed the common heritage principle to the United Nations and had some success. You know, the seabed is recognized as a common heritage. Maybe Antarctica will. I spent a lot of time in Malta and know why they're so good, because they are deeply, you know, they're people who feel very strong about their values. We're talking about a society of 5,000 years, right? And a few families, still very aristocratic and all that, but a good tradition of value-based politics. Another example, Costa Rica, the only country so far that has totally abolished its army, totally defenseless, deliberately, and is the only country that actually has promised with a legally binding commitment to become a carbon neutral country by 2020. And Costa Rica, highly educated people, very smart. I take these two examples, and then Taiwan. Taiwan has a number of advantages. And I would like the Taiwanese society, you people, not your government, that your government is as bad as the rest of our governments, but of course a message to us, how we can probably sort of encourage those progressive people within government. Of course, governments are real people, and when you have this opportunity of conferences and having a dialogue, Taiwan is in a very unique situation. It shares a number of advantages with other progressive countries, including New Zealand, Norway, for example, Switzerland. They're small, highly educated, and relatively wealthy, and also relatively independent. You are independent, you may not know it. But you know, you can see it positively. You have two big superpowers next door, right? The US and China. And of course the independence of Taiwan is very precious, so you might be successful of losing your, you know, gaining your independence from China, but make sure that you're not falling into the trap of you know, sidelining with the US. Of course these two superpowers have their very own agenda. And each country, with their legitimacy, should seriously reconsider this. These are highly damaging superpowers, right? So in the thinking among the Norwegian government, for example, is quite sophisticated. They say, while we are a Western country, we are not part of the European Union, we are not part of the North Atlantic defense system. There's neutrality there. They invest heavily in developing countries to overcome, you know, rich, poor gaps. Very generous, the only country that has a decent percentage of their GDP actually invested in helping poorer countries and so forth. I suggest one of the best things that came out of the summit in 2012 in Rio was when an economist launched a book called Occupy World. The name is Ross Jackson, and a Canadian former hedge fund manager, banker, some of the nasty persons. He completely changed his mind and put his wealth into establishing eco-villages in Denmark, and wrote this book, Occupy World, which has two parts. The first part, analysis of the status quo, very well done. We are all in the hands of corporate power, mainly guided by a few families in the United States and all that. Number two, how can we perhaps you know, come to tangible change? And his idea, and I quite like it, is to help building alliances between countries that are potentially leaders of the future debate. He identified 14 countries that have this potential, such as Taiwan is on his list, and Switzerland, Norway, and Costa Rica, and a number of other countries. Small enough to be not to be a threat to others, and educated, but together, because of their relative wealth, representing something like 30% of the world economy, a massive force to reckon with. And the book suggests rather benign sort of ideas like, let's start with talking about alliances, exchanging of students, academics, and let's get to know each other better. I'd like you to think about those lines. I mean, we're thinking you know, basically we have two options here. Either the existing lines are fine, this is the rich against the poor, right? We know what that all means. Or our so-called choices, either with the US or China or Europe, then we are doomed. But if we manage to sort of underpinning it with the current structures, with new forms of alliances, in a perfectly benign manner, there's nothing threatening to anyone about it. But Taiwan has a huge opportunity, I think, you know, because you are yet in search of your true identity. New Zealand, same thing. We don't even know who we are. We're still a British colony of sorts, right? You know, but there are interesting, especially young people, students, and so forth. I have great hopes for young people who constantly have a different, much more exciting vision than, you know, than the ones in power. And finally, and then I'm done. You know, how can we here in Taiwan or nurture the idea of self-contained communities? What would the law require to have flourishing, sustainable communities here in Taiwan? The best answer to it, I think, would be something that you currently don't have. You need to have the idea of local autonomy. You inherited this Chinese model of very complicated governance here with all these various layers, so much so that nobody really knows who's in charge and so forth. But a number of other countries, and I'm sure if you go back enough in time, where people live is where the power sits and where governance sits. Most of our interactions, social, economic interaction, take place where you actually live. And we're talking about villages and maybe also cities. But the community is crucial here. That's one of the few things I really like about the German system. It's highly decentralized. The core idea of the German system, following, of course, the experience of history, the Germans never sort of had a centralized idea of the state, unlike France or other states. And Germany started with hundreds of little principalities, and they always kept their autonomy. And when Germany became a nation, and not too long ago, and a democracy even more recent, they always maintained the autonomy of the local community as a constitutional right. It's still in the constitution, and it's well exercised in practice, that each community has a right of its own constitution. It's not called a constitution, but it's similar, Satzung. For example, where I'm coming from, a small community of some 12,000 people, we have a youth parliament. We always had it. I was a member of the youth parliament. I was not able to just talk about, you know, more food in our schools or something, but about what matters us as young people, what matters for us. What kind of community we want to be part of? Do we need more public spaces, or do we need to control all our teachers better? All sorts of things came up. And they still come up. And they complement the decisions of the local council, which is also autonomous. You can imagine here in Taiwan that the community leaders are actually able to determine, we become a nuclear-free zone, we become a GMO-free zone, we become a non-pesticide zone. That's all. We do it now where I live, Waiheke Island, a small community in New Zealand of 7,000 people. We are anti-nuclear, anti-GMO, you name it. We're doing quite well. And the dynamics that you are getting there, it attracts the right people, right? And then it attracts so many people. Potentially everybody wants to live in a community that's committed to peace and sustainability. It requires a law change, but if the community leaders among you and the community people somehow have a mechanism in place where you seriously talk about greater autonomy of the various places in Taiwan, this would be probably a breakthrough. I've seen them made great projects, but they could do even better with having more autonomy in their own decisions. What's good for them.
我试着把它简单摘译一下。刚刚就是第二个问题是关于生态关系公约是有承认各国的主权。那这样子的问题跟他刚刚谈的这种就是国际政府的这种角色是不太一样。那刚刚他有提到说，其实生态多样性公约当时在下的时候，他承认国家的主权这件事情，就是后来他招致很多其实在实务上他根本达不到他真正要做的事情的那个问题盲点。 因为我们如果持续承认国家主权是可以凌驾这一些环境讨论之上的话，就什么事情都还是做不到。所以他说我们应该要改变，这是一个需要改变观点的一个概念。那他要谈的是，就是我们的国家主权是要建立在我们所有的人都体认到说，像生态完整性这样子的人类基础应该要有的那种准则是要被放进考虑，在那个之下才讨论国家主权。是要那个位置是角色是颠倒过来的，那之后的议题才能够去就是真正的去达到就是可行。那谈到说就是关于对于台湾的就是朝向这样子的国际政府这样的架构来迈进的时候，有哪一些建议？就是刚刚有讲到说有一些国际上现存的这些例子可以跟我们去讨论，去学习。然后其实有一点多，所以我不晓得时间够不够，我直接跳到最后，因为最后是比较特别，就是在讲到说那个自给自足的生态社区这个部分，他们有哪一些建议？那他谈的是就是他所知道的一个在德国就是传统以来一直保有的那个区域代理这个代理人的这种角色，因为他知道我们的这种政治结构就是用选举或是怎么样的方式选出人，然后放在各个地方，然后这一些人他们在执行计划的时候就是从上到下指令，然后去推动，然后导致地方上并没有办法把草根性的那些东西放进实际上的讨论桌，然后总是变成地方跟就是环境跟那个政府执行的冲突。所以一个自给自足的社会生态社区必须要能够有他们自己的代理人。包括他自己当初，他们以前在德国北部的这个乡下，他们大概13000人左右，他们有办法说，甚至到他们可以拥有他们自己像是宪法这样的东西，国家的宪法不会逾越这个宪法之上。那他们可以在国家宪法的这个框架之下，他们决定他们自己的这个社区怎么样去发展。甚至他当时有参加他们的青年的那个委员会，他们在委员会可以讨论非常多他们想要做的事情，然后大家一起共同来讨论说我们怎么样去做到。那同样这样的精神，他们也在纽西兰他自己做的那个北方的那个小岛上面，他们大概有7000人，他们也做到，他们可以说我们要飞核，我们要飞机改做的食物，我们要怎么样很多东西他们可以透过。他们不只是提出他们要这样，不只是跟政府诉求，而是实际上做政府，就是实际上把这样的东西放进他们想要做的事情里面，然后就去推动，有系统的去推动，然后要政府配合他们去做到这样子。那这些事情是我们如果想要推动这样子的社区的时候，我们必然要经过，这是一个需要去突破的地方。但一旦你突破的话，会有很多可能性突然间就是崩出来，所以可能会是一步很艰难的一步。那这个可能就是这样，可是有很多成功的。这是那个远景是值得期待，而且是可以实践的。那就期待台湾有一天可以到这样子的角度，这样。那大概就是简单的到这边，然后这边有最后一个问题，刚刚送上来，这个是比较个人的，他就请
问一下刚刚那本书的作者
Occupy World 作者
Ross Jackson Ross R-O-S-S Jackson。
刚提到这本书里面，就是有讲到很多，因为他谈到说台湾的立基跟转基，其实就是我们是小国，那有其他世界上很多小国，包括纽西兰在内，然后还有像芬兰、瑞典啊、哥斯达黎加，很多他提到的，刚刚提到这些案例，这些国家都被 cover 在这个作者他讲到说，这些小国他们经济有足够的自主性，它其实合起来这几十个小国有全世界30%的那个经济体的这个动能。那现在我们一直在谈国际的时候，是在谈强权跟弱权之间怎么样互相剥削、互相讨厌这样。那但是他谈的是我们怎么样突破这样子的盲点，用这一些小国，但是他们这些小而独立的国家，包括台湾也是。那怎么样我们从其中，我们不再是互相是敌人，而是互相是朋友伙伴，然后去冲破那种大小国之间的争执，然后重新去，甚至我们可以去作为那个领导世界新的潮流的这个力量。
好，谢谢。那等那个二位老师在补充的时候，我稍微提一下。刚才他有提到那个哥斯达黎加那个索皮卡那个 case 哦，事实上在去年的10月，同样在这地方，我们曾经跟韩国还有日本的朋友在这里谈那个日本的宪法第9条。那日本的宪法第9条跟哥斯达黎加宪法第12条。是目前全世界上把和平权放在宪法里面的。那我稍微做，其实这几天那个 Klaus 也有提到说，这个是台湾未来可以去提的。那刚才那个小雨就是小雨说，那个有个朋友问你说，那个纽西兰有没有环境政策类似的学校？其实那个 Klaus 呢，他这里就是说， 他在纽西兰有很多中国学生，但是都没有台湾学生，所以他非常欢迎大家。哦，我想我做补充一下，那就是阿北。
OK， 我稍微补充一下，就是关于这个自治跟小农的问题。那么我最近出的书就是从921地震到88风灾的一个10几年来，跟着他救灾各方面的事情。就刚刚就用这个回一下周老师，其实风灾、震灾不但对政府或者对 GNP 好，对运动也是好的啊。我们就利用这时候他帮不了、做不了，然后乱七八糟的时候，我们就抢着做、抢着弄、抢着搞，然后我们就叫做基地战斗，只要霸到一个地方，占到一个地方，帮他盖房子，帮他弄什么，完了以后就是我们的基地。OK， 那么比如说日月潭少主园区就是一个基地，啊，房子被人家拆掉，沙瓦兹就是一个基地。OK， 然后各方面的基地，我们就利用在政权最薄弱、最无能、最出问题穿帮的时候，我们人民的力量在这边突出表现。那么刚 Klaus 讲一个东西，我觉得在中国并不陌生，但是被忘记、被西化，那个就是德文里面的 Gemeinschaft。Gemeinschaft 的英文的翻译是有问题的。Gemeinschaft 就是一个真的从人的生活生计出来的紧密的人的关系，不是父子，是母子。OK， 从母子。从夫妻，从兄弟姐妹到邻里，是一个黑箱的组织，而就是这Gemeinschaft这样子一个东西，是人生活的一个生计的主体。那么小农也是这样子 ，OK， 小农不是完全经济的，也不是合作社，就是一堆人住在那个地方，为了共同生活，尽量的能够跟自然协和的存在。那么今天的大家有兴趣可以去萨瓦兹，他们几乎是完全自给自足的。OK， 他们的米自己都吃不完，他们只要在河边，他们采野菜，因为他们是8个姊妹的兄弟等等。然后这个例子在台湾不止一个 ，OK， 所以他们也没有什么讲很多的东西等等，他们就是过他们的日子，老老实实的过他们的日子。但是这件事情的好处在什么地方？就是假如是说2030年、2040年，海水已经把我们的平地淹掉了，我们只有山上可以去。然后我们现在已经知道，我们在山上有人可以教我们怎么活。这就是为什么原住民重要，为什么原住民的生活方式重要，为什么原住民不靠电、不靠这个，他可以活。最了不起的就是说，澳洲的原住民。在全世界那么大坏的环境里面，他在沙漠里面生存，其实他是最强劲的人。OK， 那么这个我们要认得，而不是我们有所有最现代的机器，所有现代消耗能源的东西，我们才是最强的。恐怕我们反而变得是最弱的。好，在这样的一个基础上面，假如有大灾害来，小农自治。这个另类的生计，自给自足可以生存，这是人类恢复它的一个种子跟可能性。2个很重要的，假如是对国际组织有用的话，就是让国际组织让资本家晓得，这个世界要存活下去，不是靠你，是靠我，是靠我们，是靠我们的家庭，是靠我们的父母。母子的关系是靠我们在田旁边耕作的关系，是采野菜的关系。所以这个小农的重要性被他认识之后，就有一点很重要。今天 WTO 跟人家吵了半天，各个国家主权国家吵了半天，欧洲、法国跟德国跟什么，就是农业补贴的问题。因为农业补贴最后是补贴资本家，或者补贴国族。所以这当然不干，我也反对农业补贴，但是是小农为了生计，为了地球的生活，为了整个 ecology 的恢复，作为经济的主体的话，就要补贴小农。补贴小农就是补贴ecology， 在那个时候，假如是 WTO 要活下去，要作为真正的世界组织，它就会把自己倒过来，它就是补贴农业、补贴小农，而且是要把这个做彻底的，否则它就没用了，它自己去找死。有没有太快 ？OK， 所以就是我们的生活体制、我们的生活主体、我们的基本的东西弄清楚。我们有一个主体，我们有一个基地，我们有一个生存的策略，这个是立于不败之地。我们先活下去 ，OK。所有的政权或者资本主义体系或者国家，他们要自己找死，你去死，我不陪你 ，OK。我不跟你陪葬 ，OK。你死你的，但是你死了，我不见得跟你一起死，我要活 ，OK。老百姓要活下去，政权找死。你要把我拉下水，没这回事。所以一个 alternative 的一个生活方式，一个生计，一个小农，那么是自立自强，然后恐怕是人类重新恢复、重新收复自己希望的一个可能跟根据，好吧？有没有回答这位朋友 ？OK， 好，谢谢。
好，不知道各位朋友还有没有其他问题？如果没有的话，不要说像Klaus阿伟老师或周老师有没有再补充的？阿伟呢？Maybe something you want to say?
Yeah, I don't have the final word, but certainly wanting to express my gratitude for being here. And I've been to a number of other places around the world. I have a personal affiliation with Chinese culture. I love it very much. I guess the German culture and the Chinese culture are not too different. I think we both have a sort of tendency to look for fundamentals, for really what are the principles, the most fundamentals that sustain us. And I've had many reflections of the sincerity. The group that invited me here, the various groups. They are just shining examples of not only the Taiwanese society, but in other countries too. From my perception, this is happening all around the world, right? I mean, obviously, I said it in the talk earlier, in Germany, for example, some 70% of the people do not trust their government anymore. Right? They simply have absolutely no time for it. Within these 70%, many are cynical. They just say, nothing we can do, and so on. But a growing number say, well, we're just doing our own thing. There will be a time after this. And this is, I think, the most powerful thing we can do. This kind of stupid thinking, what is better, capitalism or socialism, this is all old thinking. The new comes from within. It comes from communities, indigenous communities. You talked about it, I've seen them here. This is one of our great hopes, indigenous communities around the world. We have the Declaration of Indigenous Rights now being adopted. Makes a big change in a country like New Zealand, for example. It's a long story to be told. That's the one hope. Indigenous peoples, women, more than men, I have to say that, for reasons that are, I think, obvious. Women need to be empowered. They're simply closer to these things than men. Youth is more important than older people. We need, obviously, much more participation of youth groups. And ultimately, that's what I'd like to think. We're seeing emerging global civil society. It's often debated whether there is such a thing. But when you consider that 95% of the people on this planet, I mean 95% of what we are concerned with, regardless where we live, are almost identical concerns. We want to live in harmony and happiness, we want to have children, family, and not only 5% might think, oh, it's all about having more money, right? Or let's be more competitive. Of course, the famous number is right. The 1%, the 99% movement sums it all up. 1% own the sort of wealth of 99%, pretty much. And if we believe in democracy, if we believe in decency, this is us. We are 99%. So we're seeing two truths clashing. I feel it's crunch time, right? There are very exciting years ahead. The next economic collapse is around the corner. Right? Just wait for it. Don't invest anywhere. Most of us have nothing to invest, luckily. But save something up for what comes after that. There will be collapse. But what comes after that, that's important. And the young people, you will experience this, what comes after that. And as older people, we have just can only do one thing, encourage you. You will have a strong support, not just of your older people, but of great communities. The reason why the young people are here, of course, is a very good one and hopeful one. So my final word would be it's a word of solidarity. I really have a relationship to you even in these few hours, and I'm sure these relationships continue in one way or another. It's all about relationships, isn't it?
就是讲一下，他最后就是还是很高兴，真的很高兴在这里就是认识大家。那这几天下来，他其实很简短的参访过一些地方，那也跟很多人就是有一些接触，那也认识了一些原住民朋友跟他们的生活的方式，他也听到很多大家的故事这样。那他就是觉得这跟他在全世界就是在参与全世界各个地方的运动，其实就是一再的得到这样子的印证，得到这样子的经历，就是其实很多的这样子的运动已经发生在世界各个角落。那比如说像德国的70%以上的人已经就是他们就说他们不信任政府，他们无法信任政府。那当中当然非常多的人主要是非常批判性的，而且就是愤世嫉俗的，就是觉得说算了，就是一切都没有救。但是当然他看到有很正在成长、不断成长的一个数字，就是尤其是年轻人。他们除了对政府失信以外，就会转移投入他们所想要参与改变的事情，而不是让政府去做他们的事情。他们可能会选择不管政府现在做的事情，就专心在做，就开始去做他们觉得政府没有做到或无法做到的事情，然后让这些事情就是有朝一日会被更多的人接受，因为它是很重要的事情的时候，就会被更多的人接受。最终政府还是必须要正视这些事情，就像他刚刚举的很多例子一样。那所以就是其实大家就是他就是他能够做的事情，他觉得就是我们其实都知道这个包括经济或是这整个世界的政府的失衡，其实迫在眉睫，它已经面临要灭亡。就是举一个简单例子，就是那1%跟99%理论，就是1%的人握有其他整个世界上其他99%的人所拥有的这一些财产，这是完全不平等的。那当然我们现场所有人看起来都是那99%的之内，那我们对抗那1%，我们看着另外那1%的时候，我们是怎么，我们要怎么样去探讨这样的问题？所以其实我们都会看到，这样一定会走向那个失衡。在现在这个所谓的民主世界体制的运作之下，其实我们一定会看到那一天。所以请大家就是不要，我们大概也没有钱，就是去做这么多的投资，但是我们必须要预备有那个时刻会到来。所以很快会到来的时候，我们也就是在这里，就是有很多年轻人。鼓励所有的年轻人，就是我们会是那一波需要开始去做更多事情的潮流。那国家或社会上的这些能量的大家其实是需要去鼓励，把更多的空间、更多的资源或更多的尊重留给这些年轻的力量。然后，而且就正在年长的这一些其他的人来说，比如说像他自己，他能做的就是真的就是鼓励、激发年轻的力量，更新的角度来重新去诠释或者重新去回应这个世界现在面对的这些挣扎。那还相信我们一定可以就是逐步能够得到，就是每天的让得到更好的一个就是行动的结果。谢谢大家。